Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day or night it is that you're experiencing this. I wish you the best of it. My name is Grant Lamontang from multitool.org, and this is EDC-TV. With me, as usual, are my good friends, Inky and Abe. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Very good. Thank you.
Well, that's good to hear. So tonight we are going to be continuing our trend lately of looking at some new stuff because, I mean, quite honestly, there's a whole pile of it for us to look at. Yeah, we're going to dispense with the usual what new stuff have you got again so that way we can look at the new stuff that we're probably going to have in a month or so. So we're going to start today with Gerber. So the first one I want to talk about, and I've been looking forward to doing Gerber because I'm a real big fan of their products. But this thing here, I don't know what to say about this. This is a keychain hatchet. It is called the Hatchet, and it's available in silver and black. But it is a keychain sized hatchet with a bottle opener, package opener, keychain, and flathead driver, according to the description here. Upgrade your set of keys with a keychain problem solver that's fit for anyone who loves the outdoors. While it looks like a mini hatchet, this is a fully functional multi-tool. Open a bottle, open your mail, or tighten down a screw, all with your keychain. What do you guys have to say about this?
Cute. Yeah. It's not really saying anything to me, except for if you were an Atlanta Braves fan, you don't have to do this with your hand anymore. You can now go do 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 do. I think it's gimmicky. Sorry. It's cute looking, but it's gimmicky.
I would agree. I don't want to say how much I want this because I really, really do. But when I first saw this, I thought this was actually supposed to be like a mini hatchet because Gerber has that little hatchet with like the 6-inch handle on it. Uh, yeah, completely, absolutely 110% worthless for chopping anything. And then there's all those companies that make those multi tool sized, it's like a regular Leatherman tool, but with like a hatchet head on top. And I hate all of those things. And I really kind of wanted to hate this one too, but honestly, I can't. I'm really digging this one. This is the black version as well. Look at
The
that.
price isn't bad. I'll say that much.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
MSRP. That's only
Yeah.
MSRP, right?
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
So pick them up for $5 or $6 in a month or two.
yeah, exactly. So I'm actually feeling like I kind of want this one. I'm assuming the edge doesn't have much of an edge to it because
Yeah.
you know it would have to be covered otherwise. You wouldn't
Exactly.
want to put something like that with a razor edge in your pocket with your keys. That would just be surgical in how bad it would be.
It would be like
Yeah.
opening up a classic in your pocket and playing with it until you look at your finger.
Yeah, I definitely don't know what that's like.
Mhm.
It looks like it's basically a tape breaker. That's what I mean. It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
super sharp, but it's gotta be
Yeah.
narrow enough that you'll bust through the tape, and once you cut the tape, you're just running right down.
I'll tell you, it's nice to, like, sometimes you leave your house and grab your mail, and you got your box in your truck or whatever, and, you could grab that and rip your box open quick. Instead of pulling out a knife and driving with a knife, you could unsafely open it up with a different tool while you're driving. That will
yeah.
be less stuck in your eyeball if you crash.
I feel like the whole lumberjack motif, though, it should have come on a carabiner or something instead of on a split ring. But I guess that would have driven the price
Just
up to
put it,
like
like, in
$12.
a little flannel case to keep everyone safe.
My
Oh yeah,
my thing with it is that for the size that you've got, not that it's super heavy, you only got like
There
3
you go.
tools, right? I know you got the picture, like the image that looks at it. I would want something if I was gonna carry something, I just would want something with a little bit more features to them. Because
it's
God
not
knows about probably got 20 bottle cap openers on your keychain already.
it's not often that I want a tool because of what it looks like. Most of the time, I want it because of the functions. At least that's what I keep telling everybody. But realistically, this is one I would buy just for how cool it looks. If it was something I was actually intending to get any use out of, I would have bought the Shard, or I would have gone with the what do you call it? The new version of the Shard, the Mullet. The Mullet looks really good. I'm not sure I really like any of the new versions of the Shard. The Shard XL I have is And we've talked about the, what was it, Shard something or other.
Mini, the one that I have. I actually have it up here somewhere
Yeah, the
up to the
Shard
me.
DT.
DT, yeah, there's yeah. See
It
here.
should have been called the DB, as in the Shard don't bother.
Because yeah, if you look at it, it's like unless I'm missing something, there's just a little pry edge there,
Yeah.
and then the screwdriver, Phillips, and then the bottle opener, which I said, like, it's like if you look at my keychain, I mean, I could open up a whole case of beer at once with the number of bottle openers that are on my keychain.
But
'Cause
you don't have the
everything
right amount of hands for that.
so I'm fast. I'm really it's like Flash or Quicksilver. You would never know the difference.
So just for the fun of it here, this is the one I would actually prefer to take. And as you see, it's on sale for a much better price. This is the Mullet, and I actually really freaking love this one. I have a limited edition one in like an olive green that I absolutely love.
What's this hooky part here?
This is a
Leather
hook
opener?
for like hanging on the like the belt loop of your jeans or something.
No, with the little screwdriver comes off on an angle, that L shape in there.
Are you
Right
talking
there,
there?
right where
I
you
think
were.
that's I think what that might be, correct me if I'm wrong, because I remember with the Leathermans, they had something similar. If you put your quarter-inch bit in there and you
Oh,
press
you
on
can
that
squeeze it.
hook, you hold it. Yeah, it squeezes
Yes.
it and holds it.
Yeah, it's a quarter-inch bit
Really?
slot.
Yeah.
And then of course the longer part here is a hook that you can just sort of, if you've got your keys hanging off that split ring at the bottom, you can just sort of dangle this on your jeans, on your belt loop or your belt or the corner of your pocket or whatever.
Or something like that I could see easily because it's trim. If you take the ring off, you can hook it on your belt, but put it on the inside of your belt between your pant and your belt,
Yeah,
and that'll keep it nice out. And oh my God, look! Who would have ever thought there's a bottle opener on it? I just
I know.
oh yeah,
I
Jesus,
was waiting
that's
for you to say that.
pure
But,
genius.
the same amount of money and a lot more function in the Mullet compared to what is it, that Hatchet. But I still like the Hatchet. I kinda want one just because it's kinda neat looking. But
Yeah, and you've got a collection of stuff like that. Realistically, not just saying that, that's part of it too.
so here's another one I wanna talk about. This seems to be a trend for everybody. More friggin' MagnaCut.
Great steal, but that just raised the price of that knife over $100 or whatever, you know?
160 for the MSRP.
I mean, what that's they already have the Gerber strong arm. It's way cheaper. So
Yep.
just to get a Chinese-made knife in MagnaCut, you could pay an extra 100 or so.
I see absolutely no need for MagnaCut whatsoever. I have no interest in it. I don't care for it. And I sure as hell am not going to pay extra for it. The strong arm is a good knife. Buy the regular one.
Yeah, it's a nice knife, but not that nice.
Anyways, something that Abe did want to talk about is the Gerber complete cutting board set here.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on this one, Abe?
I'm liking it because of the fact that I think it helps out in 2 areas. So I used to be judging by my age and my size, people would find it hard to believe that I used to do a lot of wilderness canoeing and hiking, and I think that would be a really nice tool for those activities. But when I looked at it too, I thought about how cool of a tool would that be for because it's a new trend now that we've seen more and more on social media and YouTube, people living in their vehicles. Especially if
Yeah,
you're
the
a
van
car
lifers.
well, not just the van lifers, now there's the car lifers. There's
Right.
people showing just and that's requires I mean, you don't have a sink, you don't have a room for that. And I saw one guy, he was saying, "Okay, I prep my meals." He takes a cutting board out, and he puts it on his armrest, like the armrest in the middle of the car, the console armrest, dude. And this would be great for him, like, for that, because he's got everything stored in one compact area. That's what's I really like that. I think that's and for the most part, that wouldn't be your regular EDC stuff. It would depend on obviously, all EDC depends on your activity, and I think that's just cool. You know, call it what it is, whatever you wanna say. I get it. If you don't have use for it, you don't have use for it, but heck, I mean, when I was living out of my car, I would have loved something like that. Comes with 2 knives, self-contained, got a cutting board on top.
I really like the Gerber Complete series, and it is a series. There's a whole bunch of different functions or different products available.
I'm thinking that series probably mates up with this just perfectly. Now, what I don't get is the need for the 2 cutting boards, but that's okay. 2 cutting boards, if they're not taking up that much room.
So this is not new. It's listed in the new section because they've got a bunch
Mm.
of new colors for it. But this is the Gerber Complete Utensil Set. And I got one of these a few years ago, and I really really like it. I know it's available in different colors now. Mine is just the bare aluminum version, but you've got this little multi tool that goes along with it, and you've got your fork and your spoon and your spatula, and you can attach the fork or the spoon to the spatula and create a set of tongs out of them. And I have used the heck out of that. I really, really enjoy it. But I'm really thinking I'm going to have to buy this set in burnt orange because it matches.
You gotta be color coordinated. If you're gonna look good while EDCing, you gotta be color coordinated.
Well, there's a stove called BioLite.
And show that set, which I thought would is part of it. So one part of the tray holds the 2 knives, and if you look at it, it looks like the other side of that tray holds the cutting utensils. I
Yeah,
really like the compact. This is more to me, I mean, it's probably tough. It take up on a backpack, it take up a little different, not too much room. You just take up a different orientation than say nested pot, pan, or cooking set. So, oh, that's a nice looking stove.
yeah, that is the BioLite stove. And what it does is I've got the older version of it. This is the second generation one, but you put twigs in it, and it uses a small fan in this orange battery compartment here, and it blows. It basically creates a blast furnace inside this coffee cup sort of or a coffee can sort of attachment, and it burns really, really hot, and then it uses some of the waste heat. I think it said something like it goes up to 1400 degrees or some weird, crazy amount like that. But it uses the waste heat that goes through a thermocouple and then charges the internal battery in the stove, which then allows you to charge your phone, flashlights, GoPros, drones, whatever you've got. So it's a really neat concept. I've been using it for years. I've got a very lengthy thread on the forum about how I've used it pretty much everywhere on various camping trips.
That's pretty freaking cool, I tell you. Now I wish I went camping.
Yeah, it's really, really neat. I like it a lot. I use it a lot, and having a matching Gerber set, I think, would just be icing on the cake there. So yeah, getting back to the complete cutting board set there, I like the fact that it all nests together,
Yeah.
and I do like that about the complete utensil set. It also nests together, so everything just sort of fits together because any pieces that get left behind are going to get left behind, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you with that complete, board set there, I would be very tempted. So I carry a lot of stuff in my car. It's from, especially since I got the experience of having lived out of my car for a while. I don't know if I'd carry that in my EDC backpack, but I would definitely leave it in the backup kit inside the car because I got candle lanterns, I got water filters in there, and I think this is a perfect item. I mean, if you're not gonna carry if you need something, say you're an urban worker and you wanna sit off to the side and have lunch one time, you kinda
Absolutely.
stuff like that. That'd be great for that. But for me, I see this as being like, if I'm on a road trip, because let's face it, okay? You might go on vacation sometimes depending on what kind of vacation it is, but that doesn't mean you're gonna eat out at an expensive restaurant, and especially if you're traveling in the through along the right routes, like main highways, a lot of the truck stops have really good food to get a hold of, some stuff you can even do a little prep with, and that would be perfect. That would save you some money. You'd have, like, a little kitchen, in my opinion, inside your vehicle that you could, take some food off of a truck stop, some fresh vegetables, fresh, fruit, and stuff like that, and there you go.
Well, my day job is building highways, and I could be literally anywhere. And there's a few places I work where there really aren't truck stops. You're just on a section of highway out in the middle of nowhere, and if you can find yourself a little grocery store or something like that, it always comes in handy to have options. And so, keeping some of the BioLite stove and the Gerber Complete, and a few other little things like that in the back of my truck. I've got a little folding camp table and everything. I can literally stop and make myself something to eat virtually anywhere.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like I said, I learned a lot about that from I didn't live for long periods on my car, but a lot of times, be 3 or 4 days, and
Mhm.
something like this would be amazing. And, like, even for lunch, like you said, your job, yeah, because I know your job, you're out on the road. Even if you brought your own food with you can do a little you don't have to do the prep. because oftentimes you prep stuff and it gets soggy or something like that. You do
Yep.
it when you're ready to eat.
I hate making sandwiches hours in advance, and then they're just, the bread's all smushy and stuff when you get to it. Yeah, I don't much care for that. So having the ability to prepare food is always going to be an asset. And for something like this that fits in a very, very small, compact package, you could stuff that in the seat pocket in the back of your seat or glove compartment or one of the 87, console pockets that they put in cars nowadays. You'd never know it was there until you needed it, and that would be actually a pretty good thing. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, my plans are to get one, and I'm not just saying that, just to be like, "Oh, I'm shilling for Gerber," or anything like that. I actually having from all my life experience, having to, prep food on the go, camping and stuff like that, I think it's trim. It's maybe not, like I said, a stacked group of pots, but it's trim. I think it'd be a really good compact item to carry in the vehicle.
If you work at Gerber and you're listening to this right now and you would like to sponsor us, or send us free samples of the Gerber Complete cutting board set, or really anything else, you can reach out to us at EDC-TV at multitool.org. Just going to stick that on the screen somewhere here so that way you can take your time and write it down, and just make us some little notes about all the things that you want to do with us in the future. We don't judge here on EDC TV. That is one of our greatest values. So, speaking of not judging things, here's another new tool from Gerber. Basically, all of the bad things I wanted to say about the little hatchet thing initially, I think I'm just going to go ahead and say about this. It's cute, but I don't see myself having any interest in this one whatsoever. What about you guys? What do you think of this?
I don't have a boat small enough to use that many anchors.
Let me, I would like to take a closer look at it and see out of curiosity. Well, obviously, I can see right now. Oh my God, I don't know how they managed to do this. They've got another bottle opener on there. They're geniuses. Their engineering degrees must be like MIT or something. I'm sorry. I just the number of crap they put a bottle opener on. I've said it over and over again. But let's see what else they got on there. Let's take a good look at what else they got.
So it's got 5 tools, flathead and cross drivers, quarter-inch socket, a package opener, and your aforementioned all-time favorite bottle opener.
Actually, now that I look at it, I kept on calling it like a little pry tool, but I think that's a package opener now. They probably mean that, on the DT, I think they mean you to use that as a package opener. I thought it was like just for prying, but no, I was wrong. That was probably what it was used for.
Now it's a better tool.
So, yeah, this is one of those things where they've made it look like something cute and added a couple of functions for the fun of it, and I just have no interest in it. In my opinion, I want functions. And yes, this does have more functions than that little hatchet, but this one just doesn't really appeal to me all that much.
You got to hand it to them though. They've with the branding on at least this one. If they had done the letters in a different thing, you'd be a walk. If every time your keychain was out, you'd be a walking advertisement for Gerber. So there's that to it.
I don't know. It's close enough to the size of an actual broadhead. I think that that would just bring you problems at airport security, I think. Whereas they're gonna look at the X and they're gonna go, okay, whatever, and let you go. But anyways, I don't know. Just that one
It's like
doesn't
an
appeal
old
to me all
anchor to
that
me.
much. It's not stupid enough to be amusing, and it doesn't have enough functions to make me interested in it.
And it's too amusing to be stupid.
Yeah. So that keychain carabiner, what is that supposed to have? Since we're doing keychain tools, let's features. It
Okay,
has a
I just
package
had an
opener,
epiphany.
just
a
pull that
bottle
up
opener,
here.
again another bottle.
So
I
if you're
just had an
listening to this,
epiphany.
then you're not seeing this anyway. But I have been trying to bring stuff up on the screen so we can talk about it. This is
Yeah.
the carabiner I believe Abe's talking about.
Yeah, the 3-chamber carabiner.
Apparently, my screen's not tall enough to show the whole thing, but there you go. So it looks like when you open that gate, uh, that chamber on the left is open as well. So you have the
Yeah.
big gate or the big chamber and one of the small chambers. And I'm guessing that third chamber would be, I don't know, a split ring or something.
Yeah, split ring or split rings. That's a fairly good sized chamber, right? You probably put a
Yeah.
number of stuff in there.
Yeah. Available in a bunch of colors there.
I think they even have a burnt orange one.
They do.
So sick of orange.
you could be the most fashionable survivalist out there. You're color coordinated.
Yeah, if that's your thing. So one from Gerber that I'm actually kind of liking is this guy right here. It is called the Driver, and it's really not much. It's just a couple of screwdriver bits and
Ugh.
a bit driver, but it looks like it could be kind of useful. Now I would naturally replace those bits with a couple of double-ended bits and add a little more versatility to this, but geez, as a little keychain kind of thing, this could be kind of useful.
So here's the question though. I mean, yeah, you could. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just wondering whether or not, like, in idea wise, you can. Not against the idea of doing double-ended bits, but a lot of times these things won't take the double-ended bits, right? Because they're not deep enough.
Yeah, well, you can get the really short double-ended bits. Would definitely be worth a try, but
You know,
it's worth giving it a shot. I don't
yeah.
know that this is going to be my all-time most favoriteest carry thing, but it's something new and it caught my eye. And as Inky told us in a previous episode, we need to say some nice things once in a while.
No, I don't have a problem with it. It's nice. I'm just saying it's just it's the problem I usually have with small bit carriers like that, small screwdrivers like that, is the lack of variety. Now that looks like it also has a little pry bar on it. Looks like it's got a bottle opener on it. If you look at the dip in between the two bits, I bet you
Yeah,
that serves as a bottle opener.
I mean, realistically, if you really want to drink, you'll figure that out. But it's not really something that's all that noteworthy. I'm not going to write home and tell everybody about it, but it looks interesting enough to give it a try. And again, it's cheap enough that if it turns out to be a piece of junk, I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah. Now here's something I want to bring up too, and it's not following Inky's rules. Say something nice every once in a while. It's something that I'm curious about. Is most of the guys that make these, they're designing these. So to design this, they've got to kind of have that idea into the genre of what it's used for. Why don't we ever see the little quick claws, like the quick disconnect claws in these? Because if I had that on my keychain, that would make it totally unruly to use as just as a bit driver. So you want to get it off the keychain. You don't want to have to take it off through the split ring. So that's everything on mine. I end up throwing on a claw, and as we both know, it's sometimes tough to find those sons of bitches.
That is the production department actually is the one that makes that decision. The designer probably had a carabiner or a little lobster clasp or something like that in mind, but somebody decided that they could spend 3 cents on split rings or 8 cents on carabiners of some sort, and then they decided, on 100,000 units or 200,000 units or 500,000 units, that 5 cents of a difference in the cost, that is somebody's vacation home. So that's pretty much why they go with those instead.
And
I
then
got this. Do we ever look or anyone? Because I don't get into the little tools that much, but how many of these little tools that these companies are making are already put out by like Lowe's, Home Depot, their brands, and the places you guys go to? Like, they always have these little gadgets in these big stores. Like,
Usually
are these takeoffs?
the ones that I find in those little stores are generally either Night Eyes or True Utility, and I find that those companies tend to design their own. Not to say that there aren't knockoffs of like the Leatherman carabiner that was available with the Sidekick years ago, but those are I tend to find those more on eBay and less in the box stores.
I go to these big stores. They always have like every time I see these things, I remember like being near like the key area, and you'd see little gadgets like the ones these companies are putting out. Like, I'm just wondering, like, how many more ideas do they have left in them? Because
I mean,
that's why I
realistically,
like the hatchet. That's a little different, like you said.
you know, the years ago, I was talking to one of the designers at Gerber, and I can't remember what it was called. I think it was called the Micro Brew, and it was basically just a little bottle opener with I don't know, a flashlight or something in it. It wasn't anything exciting, but it was just something he said, It was like, well, it's something I kind of threw together in my spare time, and they liked it, and we decided to produce it and see what happened. And a lot of the times, these one piece tools are just that. When you spend hours upon hours of trying to figure out how to fit together, the latest version of the MP600 or what you're going to add to the next generation work champ or something. You're looking at the same thing over and over again and constantly just making tiny little refinements and changes. At some point, your brain's going to explode. So it's nice to kind of
Yeah,
do something else once in a while.
that
Yeah.
makes
So I
sense.
imagine that's where a lot of these designs come from. It's just somebody's like, hey, this could be kind of fun and I'll still be productive, but it'll give me an opportunity to retain some semblance of my sanity.
You know who's really good at that, or I should say good at it, but like it is if you go into Walmart, Swiss Tech.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Swiss Tech's got a ton of this small stuff.
And it
The
used to be really, really good small stuff.
Yeah. I never really was that into the Swiss Tech. Uh,
The original micro technicians were absolutely amazing. And it was basically just a tiny little, like an inch square of steel. And you'd fold down the edges and there'd be, two screwdrivers and it was a set of pliers. And if you got the fancy version of it, it had two tiny little eyeglass screwdrivers that folded out of the main ones. And they were really, really nice. And then
I
Swiss Tech started coming up with all kinds of weird crap.
You'd actually close the pliers, whatever, on your key ring and lock the
Yeah.
sides. It would
Yeah.
hold on like that.
yeah, I've got a
Pretty
Gerber
cool.
version of that. I think I've got a Swiss Tech version. Remember when Gerber made that one where it was a flathead screwdriver on the bottom of one handle and a Phillips on the other, and you had the little pliers.
I think you are talking about the Solstice, and that was a pair of scissors.
Oh, that's
There
it. Yeah,
was
sorry, scissors. Yeah.
there was a plier version as well that was manufactured by the company that made the Solstice for Gerber, but Gerber never produced the plier variant. And so if you can find them, you can reach me at EDC-TV at multitool.org. I would be very interested in purchasing a set.
I might have one of the scissors because I do remember the scissors, but I do remember the pliers being key to once you put it together, it would hold on to the split ring, and that's how you carried it on your keychain.
Yeah, honestly, the Micro Technician series from Swiss Tech was better than the Solstice and whatever they were going to call the pliers. But, as a hardcore collector of many years, I mean, it's a variant and I don't have it. So I definitely need that not a Gerber. But anyways, getting back to the new stuff, there was one other Gerber here that I really wanted to talk about. This is actually one that Abe pointed out. I can't steal the wind from under his wings there. And that is this right here, the new Gerber Dredge shovel. Now, I'm a fan of the Gerber Gorge, which is the small version that just has a straight handle and not the T handle at the end there. And I tell you, as we were discussing before we came on air, I pounded that thing through 6 inches of just utterly compact, hard, frozen ice, and did that repeatedly. There's an article on the forum about that. I just beat the living snot out of that thing into the hardest ice known to man, and there wasn't a mark in it. I was pretty sure I'd broken my hand on it a couple of times. So, if this is even half as tough as the Gerber Gorge shovel, well, I'd really be interested in trying this one. Of
Yeah.
course, the Gorge was a hell of a lot cheaper. I think it was somewhere around $30 or $50 or something. A bit of a price disparity, but a much bigger shovel.
Yeah, I carry and people totally underestimate the use of a shovel. I mean, it sounds kind of weird, but I carry a folding shovel in my truck all the time.
Yeah.
So,
If you're somebody who ventures off of the beaten path ever, and or even just lives in a place with a lot of snow, carrying a shovel with you is just a very important thing to have. Okay, so moving on, we want to look at what do you guys think? We've got Kaiser next.
I'm
yeah,
liking the I don't hate the name Pokemon. It's, I like it in that clear PEI. You ever see that one? It's
Let
right
me
down a
just
little further. I love it, man. The
it's
only
a
thing I don't
blade
like is
style.
that I wish it had another half inch of blade or so. 'Cause the blade just a little bit too small for me. But I like that knife, man.
the Pokemon. Okay,
I'm
so
considering getting it. Pokemon CC, and the color is the clear PEI. It's like a goldish,
yeah,
clearish color. I love it.
I wonder about that. Just let me bring it up here.
That's that
I
new
wonder
trend
about
now.
that. How's that? Yeah, I see that on a few knives. I looked at that on a petrified fish knife not too long ago.
Yeah, I'm looking
And
looking at getting one of those at least, but
I
It has
wonder how that's gonna look after a little bit of carry and use. Is that gonna stay clear, or is that
yeah,
gonna
I
be,
think so. It's that
you
new
know,
some new material. It's
is
not
it
really
gonna look like
clear
a
though.
screwdriver from the '70s after a
Yeah,
few
it wasn't.
weeks?
Remember them? Horrible.
Well, that stuff was like, especially when it turned white, it was made out of like some kind of paper pulp acetate or something like that.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is different.
Yeah, and it smelled had a sickening smell to it too.
Mm.
Something like it almost. Oh, here we go. There's
Well, the problem with this Pokemon there, Inky, is you're gonna have to get them all.
Pokemon Digital. I don't hate the name, man. They do a lot of they do video game stuff and some overly weird, I don't know,
I gotta say, it's
names
not a
for their
bad looking
guys.
knife.
But I like that thing a lot, man. I don't even mind that weird clip on the tip. Tip on the tip and tip on the tip, and it's just a little bit too small.
the one I like is the Pokemon CS. I like the blade on them, but I don't like it's covered in black. But the Pokemon CS has got a really nice sheep's foot type. Well, that's really
Yeah.
tip down. It's more of a tip
That's the other
down.
thing I don't like, black blades as much, but it
Yeah,
works with
Yeah,
that PEI,
it's
man, a lot. That
but
blade's,
CD.
.16.
There we go.
I'd go for
There's the
three and a
CS.
half, 3 3/4.
yeah, almost like a pearl like finish with the windows. It's almost kind of a bit of a pearl.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
not
like
too shabby. I think if I'm gonna go with that clear stuff on the handles, I think I might follow Inky and go with the yellow one. I don't know why. It screams '70s toolbox to me, and I like that.
I love that thing.
I'm liking this Sheepdog. This is a nice looking blade here.
Yeah, I've just got getting that too. I know you don't like the black handles, but I don't like the black blade more. So I'm just looking at the white blade, like clear blade with the black handle, and it looks nice. I kind of like the whole thing.
This version here,
Yeah, and you know what? That handles remind me of a Kershaw model for some
I'm
reason.
I
liking the
know the
blade
one.
shape better with the drop point or the sheep's foot, however you want to call it. I agree with the black blade and the black on black and all that other crap.
Well, the black blade on some of them is that kinda black wash. You gotta
Yeah,
read it closely. Black wash is nowhere near as bad as black, like the old
uh,
Benchmade black.
yeah, I'm
Black
really
wash.
liking this. Kind of looks like it's made out of somebody's old tweed jacket.
So the Pokemon, I just noticed there's a blade pattern in the Pokemon that is somewhat reminiscent of the 940, Benchmade 940.
Mhm. Yeah.
There
So,
we go.
Inky, are you looking at the Drop Bear Fix 3,
No,
or
I'm
the
sorry,
Drop?
no, Drop Bear 2 Nitro. That's Nitro-V steel. So it'd be Drop Bear 2. Actually, all the Drop Bears have nice, well, there's a black one and a blue one. The blue one has a
Whiskey.
different blade.
Let's pull this up here and have a look.
You might also like the Whiskey Jack there, Grant. Grant, small knife, small fixed blade.
Okay, so there's the Drop Bear.
Not that one.
Not that one? Okay, well, that's the one I found. So, this is the Drop Bear that Inky was talking about. Drop Bear 2 Nitro-V Micarta with Vortex pattern.
Okay.
That's not
Okay.
too shabby now, is it?
That's bright. It's got a bright pattern to it.
I
Now,
sent you one more, but you
is
don't have
is that just chromed and the photographer was wearing very loud clothing, or does that
I
actually
hear you.
look like that?
That's what I'm saying, it has that, it could be metal look, but it's not. Yeah, no, it's nice.
Yeah, that's the
You see the
question.
second one? The brownish one?
Yeah,
Yeah, that I like too.
Yeah,
That's very shagadelic, babe.
I
I
like
like
the
the
drop
third
point.
blade though. I like to
Yeah,
draw that. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I like the second or third blade. I love black blades, I just don't wanna use them.
I actually like all the blades except for the last one. I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
much
like
care
that
for the
blade.
clip point.
That reminds me of something that another knife I can't remember.
and did you see the utility knife, the Sheepdog utility knife there, Yankee? Again, it's got that Kershaw style handle on it.
Sheepdog
And
utility?
Yeah,
now let's pull up the Whiskey Jack that Abe was talking about.
that would be like I think that's right up your alley. That's another one that would be like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong.
The small fixed blade. Yeah, that is definitely something I could see myself having some fun with. I like the blade shape. I like the colors of that vortex handle. Yeah, yeah, I could see myself with that one.
Yeah, nice little fixed blade. I bet they have, the handle's
What's the
much
handle?
proportionally larger.
Look at that. It's Jesus, what the hell do they call those fancy clips?
Flippity
G
flip.
clip or whatever it is, something like that. Or I know what it is. I
Yeah.
wish my memory was better.
Yeah.
That was the belt clip made by Blade Tech. Blade Tech came out with that belt clip first,
That's
if I
the one I
remember.
was
Yeah,
thinking of.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be handy because you could stick that to a pack or something. Yeah,
So
this whiskey jack is pretty interesting. I could
Yeah,
definitely
I
see
like that.
myself getting into one of those. $25 though is that's an investment.
yeah, but is the MSRP.
Oh, you
Maybe
can go
when you
down to
finally look it up.
55 if you want just the regular
If you
boring
join the
handle.
website, they give you money off and free and no tax.
Ooh,
Okay, so Kaiser,
$5.50.
if you want to sponsor us here at EDC-TV, you can get a hold of us at EDC-TV@multitool.org. We would love to hear from you, and we would love an opportunity to review some of these cool things on the air. So definitely hit us up and let us know.
yeah. I just found one of theirs that I want. I really want. Yeah, no, I really like it. That's a hot looking knife,
Let
Watch
me
your
see
mouth.
if I can find it real
especially the
quick here.
Damascus one. Take a look at that Damascus. That's funky. That's cool. That is a
I
good
like the
looking knife.
Momo.
Aegis Damascus G10 with that really nice pattern blade on there. I'm not really normally a big Damascus guy, and there's also yeah, that's a nice. So those are two nice. Those are two great looking knives to me. Those are
I gotta
two.
say, I'm not usually into the Damascus knives. I really am not. But a little while ago, I was looking at that petrified fish knife, and it comes in, I think it's the troglodyte, and it comes in, regular steels and the yellow clear P handle, like the one that Inky likes there. But I really like the Damascus version. So I'm hoping I'm not becoming a Damascus junkie because that can get kind of expensive.
Yeah, big spear. Now that's a broad spear. To me, that's a broad. The angle is very sharp for the spear
Watch your
point.
mouth. That's nice. I think it's nice. I don't know. You
Yeah,
can
I
also
gotta
get
say, I kind of like the look
I'm
of that.
sorry. Oh, no, you can't until you get it with a silver blade. You can't. They have all different handles.
Yeah, I'm
I
seeing
just
that.
I thought we'd all like that one about the same-ish.
I do like that one.
Mm.
I'm kind of liking this one too.
The thing about that is it's even a tiny bit smaller than the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I find the carbon fiber handles awfully slippery sometimes, so maybe this would be a better choice because this looks like it's textured.
probably slickery, but it has the lines in it.
Yeah.
It's probably black wash the blade. Much better to use than black. I don't know if
Honestly,
you
I
guys
don't
have experience. That black
really
wash
have anything specific against the black blades. I don't mind the black blades. Yes, they scratch, but you know what? A blade is designed to be used.
yeah,
And I like the fact that this has got this anodized blue thumb stud there.
yeah.
It's
Awesome.
nice to have a little bit of color. I'm
Yeah.
not talking like I want a tie-dyed super rainbow pastel blade and handle or something like that, but
'Cause I don't know why
Jesus,
not.
give us something other than black on black on black on black with black screws and black inserts and black this and black that.
Yeah,
There's no imagination to that.
I haven't bought an all black knife in a couple of years, man. I can't do them anymore. Even all black with a silver blade, I don't buy anymore.
Yeah.
There's nothing to them. Every knife since the '80s was black, 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 black.
Like on a knife like this where the handle is not black and there's this little shock of color in it, that to me is, I don't mind a black blade in that situation. Now, had this been an all black handle with black furniture and black screws, and then I'd have been, no.
See, the second last one, to me, it's got a clean, understated. I
Yes.
mean, not to get the colors aren't sharp, but they're not all black. It's kind of got that gray man effect, and you can
It
see the pattern in the micar.
almost has that canvas micarta look, right?
Yeah, you can see the pattern, and it does look like canvas micarta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all those are pretty nice.
That
Yeah,
one
I mean,
has it's nice. 154 cm.
it's got user written all over it.
Yeah,
I
hell
would
yeah.
I wouldn't kick, like, when I say I'd kick the shit out of this knife, I wouldn't kick the shit out of it, but I'd use the shit out of it. I'd have
Yeah.
no problem going to town with this and giving it some hard usage. Yeah,
Sounds
we
good.
we do that, but I guess my closing word for Kaiser, though, is I'm not familiar with the company, but now having seen their stuff, I like the fact that they have a good, clean presentation. It's not, and from what I'm seeing is most of the stuff, to me, I call that, or like, definitely the microbe has got an organic feel to it. It's round edges, no sharp points, it flows.
Okay.
I
So
think they've got some winners. I think they've got some winners in their batch.
Okay, so that's actually bringing us pretty close to the end of another episode here.
We are getting there.
There's a lot of new stuff to be covering, so we'll probably be doing this yet again next week. Hopefully, you're not all getting bored of it. We certainly aren't. But guys, I got to ask you, out of all the new stuff that we've looked at over the past few episodes, are there any real standouts? What do you think, Inky? Is there anything in particular that you've seen in the
Yeah,
past couple of weeks that we've talked about that you
yeah, the one I
absolutely
was
need to
just
have?
saying. Yep, the one I just talked about. That's my favorite out of everything.
The Kaiser Drop Bear one,
Not the drop bear, the other one. Was it called the Pokemon or something?
the Pokemon, yeah,
I really like
yeah.
that. But the weird thing is I ordered three Kaiser knives, but I bought them on sale and they came with an extra tool. And then today they have this other one I was gonna show you. I bought it off Amazon for like half price from them. It's I forgot the name of it, but anyway, yes, I like the in that PEI very
So
much.
this is the
Very
guy you're
nice.
looking for right here, isn't it?
Let me see. Yeah, look at that thing. I wish it was bigger. That's the only thing that stops me. It's my hands are big, I don't need a big knife. I just need something that works good with my hands, and I know that handle's gonna be a little bit small for me. Um, Blade's usable, but I'm still
Yeah,
gonna
I
get it eventually.
I can see that. That definitely looks like an interesting piece, and for that price too. I mean, that's gosh, that's an awful lot of knife. That's a heck of a thing to argue with.
I was gonna mention too that I've been looking up some of the prices, and normally you don't see the MSRP show up for on the
Some of
sites where
these
they're
do.
actually selling them, but a couple of the items like the, Gerber cooking set and the, Kaiser, they're priced exactly the same as on the site.
So, Abe, what about you? Any new standouts from everything that we've seen so far? Anything jumping out at you that might have to come home with you?
Well, there's a lot that we've talked about, like the Gerber cooking set, but right now I think what's really got me interested in buying something is the Kaiser, that Kaiser, Aegis in Damascus. I really like it for $79. That's a
Pull
hell of
that
a
back
steal,
up here.
especially for, and there was something else that I said earlier today, I said I'm gonna have to buy one.
That one there is that the one
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah, and there was
Beautiful.
another one, I forget what it is, but I actually said, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy that one." I think it was one of the first brands we looked at.
Yeah, that's looking pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So, anyways, gentlemen, that is going to do us for another week. Did you have any final thoughts you'd like people to take away from this, Abe?
No, no, just, look forward to look at more knives, and, if you've got some of the stuff we talked about, if you already purchased it, head over to multitool.org, go to the discussion section, and, fill us in. Let us know whether or not you'd recommend that we pick like, if I'm looking at the Aegis and there's something you found you really like about it, tell me. If you don't like it, tell me.
And what about you there, Inky? Any final thoughts you'd like to share with the people at home before we cut this off?
Yeah, it's carry a different knife every day so you don't get used to what you're carrying. So when you go to reach for your knife, you forget what's in your pocket, and it's always a surprise.
Well, the older you get, the more surprising it is.
It is. What
Yeah.
time are we gonna start recording?
So that's going to do us for another week. If you like the kinds of things that you're seeing and hearing here, or if you're not, definitely come visit us at forum.multitool.org. Let us know your thoughts, good or bad. We love to hear them all. Now, let's face it, a forum is all about the discussion. So we welcome any thoughts that you might have. That's forum.multitool.org. Or if you don't want it to be public, you can get us at EDC-TV at multitool.org. We prefer that you use the forum, though, because let's face it, that discussion is what supports the community, which is what allows things like this show to happen. So support the community, not the billionaires. Anyways, thanks again for joining us for another week. And we will be back every Friday.
Auf Wiedersehen.